Hey, tech fans. So we're going to talk about being a tech. Say, okay, you're tired of working at McDonald's and Burger King and all these retails and all these places, but you have tech skills. You maybe don't have certs, like cert certification, A plus network cert, Microsoft certification, Microsoft engineer certification, Cisco server, Cisco network, um, certs. It's a lot of certs. You really back in the day you didn't need all this stuff. So a lot of people don't have it. The people I used to work with, they didn't have it. They didn't have no college degree either. Just had high school. Some of them didn't even have the high school. But they're high up, making a lot of money. Managing directors in IT, making a lot of money, over 250,000 or more, and they have no degree or nothing. And you say, "Wow, is that so?" Yeah. If you know the computer inside and out, and all you do is the computer, then you know your way around a computer. There's a lot of jobs at night, late at night, and you type in tech jobs available, and you'll see who's doing. I'm not gonna recommend which companies are out there. Oh, something's biting me. I can't promote the companies I'm with. I'm a pro. I'm listed as a tech pro, and I will make more money if I go out, and they'll take a piece of the action. You're 1099. That means you have to worry about the taxes. But with all the tax loopholes and all the stuff out there for taxes, for you may never have to worry about stuff like that. And you get money back from the government. Well, that's the way they have it. And if they get rid of taxes altogether, you don't have to worry about nothing like that. Let's take out for Social Security or something like that. I'll figure that one out. So if the job said, "Hey, we'll pay you 3,500," that's what you get, 3,500. Sometimes the job pays more than that. You want to go for the lead, but when you first start, you won't be a lead. You'll be Tech 3, Tech 4, Tech 1, Level 10. It depends what you sign up for. When they negotiate a price with you, you tell them what you want. See, the minimum back then was $25 an hour. Today, it's 50 and up. It depends what the job is and what offer. They might say, "Hey, we need 2 guys to go to a sports bar and replace the TV. The TV's there ready. The client has ordered. They need somebody, so 2 you're needed because you're talking about a large screen TV, maybe 46, well, actually 50, 55 or higher. If it's larger, you have to get another person. Then they split that money with that second person, your friend or somebody similar to yourself. And you go out, or sometimes they do it all themselves. I know big guys, 6 foot tall or higher, he do it himself. That's all he does. You go to these sports like Chili's, Applebee's, all these different places and hook up the TV. Or somebody has to do it. Or you go into Walmart, work on projects. They have projects. They had a huge Costco project. So what had the company I'm with, they pay for you to rent a vehicle. They give you $50 or more for food. They take care of all the expenses. They put you up in a hotel. If you have to fly, they pay for the ticket. Those are the gigs to get. I like that. Those are traveling gigs. And it wasn't for the pandemic, I would have been Tiger Lead. Because right now, I'm a local lead. So I'm a local lead in my state. Right? Okay. I got that promotion by doing a huge multi-million project by myself. Site survey. And I got promoted to local lead. Like that. I did it all myself. Nobody. I had an idea, and the client, they were happy with me. I get free food for lunch. They have catering come in. You have to dress up fancy, but I'm all right. But I met a lot of good people, so that opportunity opened more doors. You see what I mean? And after that, I worked companies like Raymond James, Stanley Morgan, J.P. Morgan, the $1 trillion. I would go down to the Carlton Ritz Hotel, and there was another project there from HP. I did a lot of HP, like HP MPS, Managed Printer Services, or Life Cycle MP. They do Quest and a couple of places like that. I can say the names because it's no big deal. I did a project for Goldman Sachs. They going into a new building. We had to put in over 400 to 800 Lebanon, it's LEN, the ones that took over IBM, Lebanon, Lenovo. That's right. Yeah, put in those. They were used. I didn't know why would Goldman Sachs gets used computers. I don't know. But the monitors were new. They were LG 38 curve. They needed 2 of them. You had to have a special rack to put those in. It's a lot of work. So your job was to put them in, right? Do the wiring. Okay, everything go into a hub. There's a network guy would come in. I couldn't understand why they were still using 10100 connections. That should be over a gig. I couldn't understand. I was talking to the neck guy. He said that's what they want. It's beyond me. We put in those curve monitors from Dell. Okay, and then everything hooked up, and then we have to do. There's a video. I made a video. There's a video on here showing all of that. You know how that project went. Then we had tables that can raise up and down. We had to do all the wire. Everything had to be neat. I paid like $3,500. Not bad, huh? How long it took? But I got the client. They were. You have to know how to brown nose. I do brown nosing. Brown nosing means, remember, when you're on a site, you are representing yourself. Okay? You work through a company. They get you the job, but you're by yourself. These people are not your friends. They're all out to get more. Okay? So the guy that's the lead, he told me, he was never a lead. I was a lead over him, but I explained to him how to do it. So he became a lead. Okay, so he got them. But anyway, there was about 7 of us, you know? And basically, it was a weird project. I talked to the 2 VPs. One of them came from Montana, I think, and the other one came out of New York City. I talked to the 2 VPs, hey, can we get other kind of lunch than this? He said, what do you want? Albert. So I said, can we get pizza or Chinese? They did. They got it. I got stuck ordering and all that stuff. He had his black edition, what do you call it, card again? American Express card. Because I went into the supermarket, there were Publix around here, and I got a meal, and he said, Albert, I'll pay for that for you. Oh, wow, thanks. He was a guy. He was nice. I think his name was Jeff. He was cool. Yeah. He was all right. They took care of us. And I said, Jeff, we have to pay for the parking. Wait a minute. So we had to pay for that project? No, they paid for the project parking. We didn't have to pay for it. We just had to take a picture of the voucher at the end of the week and give it to them. And then it would be included. We get the money back. But Jeff said, hey, we'll pay you an extra hour. So per week, per day. For the rest of the time, the project, because that was during the pandemic. Gas was like $40 to fill up a vehicle and all that stuff like that. That's pretty neat. But I use my skill to do that. They were saying, "Oh, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that." Yes, you can, because they were happy at the end when the project was finished and they shook everybody's hand. They told everybody, "Well, you talk too much. You did this or you did it wrong." He said, "Hey, great working with you. I'd like to work with you again." But I know that'll never happen because I'm not doing it anymore. It's a lot of work. It's not easy. If you like going on the dusty desk and rewiring and taking out the old monitor, desktop, they mostly use Dell, G series equipment, HP. The HP project would be, I would go into a Raymond James and I'll talk to the person on site, which would be like a administrator in tech, and they would say, hey, this is the printer, we order it, we hook it up. Can't hook it up. Why? Because there's no network connection. No, I don't do that. Somebody else does that. So I still get paid 4 hours guaranteed. I get paid to go there. So if it's 100 miles away, I get paid for 100 miles away. And I worked it in, so when I go back and get the gas, and get the gas money included in there, you gotta know how to work that. So I was doing that. But I was driving like 200 miles all the time. There were some projects for some sneaker company, I can't remember which one it was. And the project, I go into the mall and I wait, project canceled, not ready yet. So get paid for doing that. Now, the other company I was telling you about, I'm a pro with, it doesn't work like that. There's no 4-hour guarantee. So, you have to be careful with that. Yeah, there's no guarantee. You don't get nothing. I've been on projects where they cancel. And I'm out of luck. I'm burn gas and stuff. So, yeah, that's the problem. Some companies like HP and Dell. Dell doesn't pay for uh, mileage from your house to the project. So you have to get more money per hour, which I did. You get 50 an hour. That's a lot. Or more. Sometimes you can go higher, up to 100, or even more than that. It depends on your skill level. How many years of experience do you have? The certs would help, but if you had all the certs, but you have no experience, if you have 5 years experience and have no certs, you get top money. It's like, but if you got the certs and you got the 5 year experience, yeah, you get a lot of money. But you get more. It depends. But you should speak up and say you want more. Don't be afraid, because they contact you for a reason. They want you. The clients wanted me. I was like A+ with the clients. I can have anything I want. But like I said, you can get burned too as well. Most of the printers that I did, I had to set them up, hook them up. They're touch screens, and get them hooked up to the network. You talk to somebody at HP in a different state, and boom. And he recommended. I have a recommendation from him. He was impressed. Get that recommendation. Get that letter. Because that helps you a long way. And that's about it with working like that. Now, sure, you can do Uber Eats and DoorDash and was it Shift now from Walmart, I heard? Like that. You can do that too if you want to. Side gig, there's another company I used to work with. I was a quality inspector for all the banks and all that stuff. So you have that income coming in. You have that income coming in. You have that income coming in. You have that, and you're pretty much working 7 days a week. Do you want to do that? That's a lot, but but you got this too. You could be working a lot. But like I said, that's what the gig work is. So if you want to get a gig, that's what you can do. You'll have fun doing it at first. You should have tools, screwdriver, certain wrenches. What's the thing? I don't have one here, so I'll show you. This is a small one. I have a bigger one. You need one of these. Take, measure. It depends what you want to do. Do you want to build? Do you want to go up in the attic? Do you want to go in the basement, go into the walls, and run LAN cables in? Is that what you want to do? You want to terminate cables? You know how you have the terminator for to terminate the cables, to make your own LAN cables? Because you have a lot of, you have to know how to do that. You have to know how to put the access points in the ceiling. You have to know a lot. You have to know, go in the closet, use a toner. You have to know a lot of this stuff. Otherwise, it'd be hard. I could bring you in as a lead. Bring you in, you had no experience, but you had computer experience. You know how to log into a computer. I could get you on the project. You could be making like 20, 25. Depends. But maybe even 30. It depends what the project is paying. And if it pays a lot, you can make a lot. Because they're getting these companies, they get 150, 250 on you. And they're paying you. So that money, what you're doing, comes out of what they're getting paid from the client, their client. Okay, and you represent that company. Now, when you settle with those companies I just mentioned, some of them you start off as a 1099. Then you ask them, hey, you have any openings? Then you become a W-2. They take care of the insurance, and if you need insurance for medical. Otherwise, you have to do it yourself. So that's how that works. So if you want to be an IT tech or a lead, but this is for IT tech gigs, okay? How you go about it and how did you get involved in it? Like I said, I started, a friend of mine, I bought a car from a Ford Fleet. Ford Fleets are for doctors and lawyers like that. You have 12 of them in a room. You pick what you want and they'll give you the best price. Now you don't need that anymore because you have internet. You can come in as an internet buyer. So I met a guy like that, and then we got worked in this. Took a test to get A+ certified, Microsoft certified, network certified, to, I picked at the time, it was compact computers, laptops, a laptop. They made me supervisor. And all I had on my belt was a programmer. So it was two supervisors in charge of 12. The other guy had 6 and I had 6. So it was two of us and worked at a help desk. They handled Gateway Computers, IBM, and a couple others. And they're still around. Help desk is not a great thing, but help desk is where you start. The last thing I did for help desk is AppleCare. Yeah, but that I got because I knew somebody. But that project is gone because, I don't know, something happened. I had no Apple experience. I have Apple experience. I got the iPad. We got this little, in the vehicle, I have this music thing for iPod, whatever it's called. Then we have the iMac. So then get the Mac Pro if I want it. But I'm just saying, the Mac is not hard to learn. Anybody can do it. If you're good with Windows, Windows is what they want. Windows, whatever version of Windows they're using now. Imaging it over the networking and using, back then they used USB. There was an RG project, which is basically backing up users' data and transferring through USB hard drives and bypass the server, image the machine with the server. I think it was SMC system. And I used to, since I was a programmer, I was able to write boot logins for the team, and they liked my stuff because I had music. You can do a lot of stuff with the CD. I try to tell companies about that. They were, huh? What's that for? They had no idea what it's for. But I use that and boot faster. You can do several machines at the same time. But that's the process. I can tell you more. There's a lot more, and it can go on because I used to work for government companies. Yeah, government contract factories. Yeah, can't really tell you who they were, but mostly aerospace, government, U.S. defense, and things like that. And work on, so you have to have good clearance. you can't work on those sites. But those pay a lot of money. A lot. If you get that kind of job. It takes one company. And one company had like 30 different parts of itself. And you just work on all those parts. Good recommendations. You do your job right. I used to take printers apart. I learned from 2 guys. All HP network printers. I know how to repair them, fix them, get them on the network. And then that led to other opportunities. I helped other clients out, and they said, hey, we want you to work for us. We have jobs all around the United States, but they didn't have the job where I wanted it to be. I would have been full-time. Directors called me, hey, come on in. Because I helped them. I picked up a printer. I said, the printer you're using cannot handle the work. It was catching on fire. I can't tell you which one it was. It was a color printer, okay? Color laser. It was catching on fire, and it wasn't productive for their system. So I told them what to get, and they ordered it. There's a lot of money too. I ordered another one. It was an old 5000 series, and the department they were using it can't handle it. It couldn't handle all the print jobs. It just so they asked me, and I said, I'll do research and let you know. They ordered a 9000 series, and HP Tech came and installed it on my head. By doing those, they offered me a higher position with them, and I could bypass the company. But these opportunities, I had an opportunity to work with HP. The director called me up and talked to me, East Coast, offered me a job, credit card, business card, all that stuff. I should have went for it, but it's repair printers, and I don't want to do it. It's boring after a while. Yeah. So that's what the jobs are: the printer repair, PC repair. Yeah. But everything now is micro, and things are changing. So a lot of you might be lucky. I just saw something flying. No, I'm not paranoid. I'm just trying to catch this one. I catch one already. See, like they sound like that when it goes off. But anyway, hey, 19 minutes in. Okay, hope this helps you. So you start off as a help desk. From help desk, you move out of help desk. You can become a supervisor at help desk. I would recommend move up and get into desktop. From desktop support, you can run around, get all the levels, go up to network technician. Network technician would lead you to network engineer. The architect, you might get hired. I went all the way up past network technician, network architect. I got into program coordinator / issue management, where the senior manager, project manager, never was there because he had epilepsy. He couldn't sleep. So he said, Albert, you're the senior manager. You take care of it. I had in charge of the headquarters and 3 other sites. So Albany, Connecticut, and New Hampshire. Working on Windows Pro. I even brought spy programs. Well, it's like hacker program. I shouldn't say hacker. Well, land spy, to make sure that the computers that and those different sites on the domain were actually installed within Windows. It worked. I pulled it up. It worked. There's a little program I have. I had to see the senior vice presidents of infrastructure, senior vice presidents of different, and meeting with them and everything. I had my own desk and cubicles, and the other company I worked for the other company, I had my own desk, nice view. Didn't have to do anything. I worked for 3 months. I didn't do anything because the project wasn't ready yet. They paid me. Listen, the opportunities are there. You just have to go for it. Okay. You say, how do you start? Yeah, you look. Go online, type in a contract or 1099 of tech work, and you'll see. Now it's apps now. But just be careful. Once you accept that contract for that project, you better complete it, because if you don't complete it, you get a bad score. I had 5 out of 5. One company, they pay for you, they'll do a drug screening, right? That's a sample here. A specimen sample. They'll take a specimen sample. You pass that, you got the job. They do a background check. You pass that, do the job. Sometimes they do a credit check. It depends if they need to. They're actually doing driver's history, background check. They have a whole bunch of things they do now. But what's required is a background check and a specimen sample. And that's it. If you can pass both of those, you got the job. And people look more favored towards you too. Okay. I hope this helps some of you techs out there. Okay. Hey, keep teching, as I say. Okay, I gotta go. Bye for now.